Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Dave's Empire 1981. It has been one hell of a month since my last video, and I'm finally starting to feel a little bit more like myself, getting excited about things again. And if you know, you know. So moving on from that, to celebrate the upcoming Godzilla Kong, A New Empire, I think it's called, yeah. I'm going to finally take a look at my Godzilla vs. Kong figures from MonsterArts. We're going to start with Godzilla. Save Kong for the end, because I like a big, beefy ape boy. We're going to put Kong to the side for right now, somewhere. Apologize for the coughing. I just can't kick this seasonal cough. And gotta rescue Kong. Alright, so Kong's just gonna sit to the side there. Godzilla versus Kong. Godzilla. Zoom back in some. It's quite the reach for me here. This is a new phone since the last video, I believe. So I'm excited to play with it. I picked this one up from a Target probably a year and a half ago now, after seeing it for a while, and it went on clearance or went on sale, disappeared, sat. I finally was able to get it for about $50, I think, which I thought was a very good price. So this picture side of the box, Godzilla vs. Kong. Godzilla from Godzilla vs. Kong 2021. Monsterverse up there. Toho Limited, Legendary, Toho, Godzilla 2022 stamp. Bandai. Takashi Nations quality there. Takashi Nations, Bandai. This and Kong are my first and second MonsterArts figures. You got a nice box there. All the legal stuff on the bottom. Yeah, I even had to play with the sticker that somebody had put on the bottom so I can get the barcode. Godzilla vs. Kong. That's the window side of the box. You see big G in there. All the don't put stuff in your mouth stuff there. And we're gonna finally crack this guy open. And I'm super excited about it, even though I may not sound like it. Adjust my light down some. I'm gonna get my handy dandy blade. Put that there. Make sure this is on correctly. I just watched Godzilla vs. Kong on TV the other day. So I'm super stoked and ready for the new one. Let's see if I can get this out without tearing it up. Alright. Some more Takashi Nation stuff there. slide this cradle out. Inside of the box is pretty basic. Just a little silvery gray insert. Set the box on the floor. There is our G in his plastic bubble. He comes with extra hands, so that's wicked. Let's see, is it taped? Does not feel like it. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Nope. Set that top bubble on the floor. Obviously one of his hands went flying because they're not taped in. Let's take a look at the hand, huh? How about that? Very nicely sculpted. Scaly, pointy fingers. I like the kind of gesturing open hand there. See if we can shake out the other one. There it is. We have the right hand in a very similar position. It's kind of a neutral hand. There's the peg hole there. I'll zoom back out some so we can see Godzilla. Got a nice little insert to help hold him in. He is not strapped. His tail was wrapped in a bit of plastic to help protect him. All right. Godzilla. He is lighter than I expected him to be. He's got a great look to him. Lots of articulation in the tail. My goodness. Which we'll go over in a minute. He comes out of the package nice and hunched over. Big gaps there. You can see right through them. I'm not necessarily happy with that. I'm hoping you can adjust that by his leg position, but I don't think so. Might just be how he is, folks. Let's get a look at his face. That's a cool face. The jaw does open. And he does have a tongue. It does not look like the tongue is articulated. If it is, it's very small in there. Wow, he has eyeballs. Holy crap. Little bitty thing. You see the size of my finger in relation to its head. He's got eyeballs. That's crazy. The dorsal spikes look amazing. Nicely sculpted in the reflective blue. Skin texture is scaly and rocky, just like you would expect. Let's get a little adjustment here. His hands are open. I'm going to grab you hands. See? Pretty cool there. I like this guy quite a bit. Probably because the articulation is pretty nice looking so far. Let's start with the arms. He's Got a lot of shoulder in there. Sticks out from the body. It doesn't have a lot of outward. See, pops right off of there. So you can see there's a ball joint in there. Should be able to snug that right back in there. Perhaps. I think he's back on there. Good enough. You got rotation. You don't have a lot of angle there. Mostly forward. He's got plenty of elbow. Keep scraping this thing with his tail. Alright, so he's got good elbow articulation, which is interesting. Double jointed elbow, as a matter of fact. You got some pivot there. You got some pivot there. So that's really interesting. We got wrist articulation. So, hard to see it, but it looks like it's on a peg thing. Wow, that's pretty neat. I'm not a huge fan of the thinness of the wrist, but the movement is nice. Let's get all the elbows bent. How about that? Come to me. Obviously, you saw that the jaw hinges. He's got a lot of movement in the neck. Each section has its own connection point. You can look about that far up. You start getting gaps down there. So if you minimize the gap, you get to about that. Work with the gaps. Get some good down. There's body pivot there. That's great sculpting there. I love that. Mostly wiggle. Don't have a huge amount of turn there, but he does have waist articulation there. You get a lot of expression out of his body. Each section has its own set of dorsal fins. There's even, if you look inside there, see if I can get a look in there. Maybe you can. It's got like a long dumbbell in there. Section there, almost free floating, because that long dumbbell connects to this bit and this bit and this bit. Hips. See, there's a look at the interior articulation there. Not used to the, yeah, see? That ball goes right into dumbbell. That ball joint is super tight up in the hip there. While we got the leg off, let's just take a look at it. Nice amount of articulation in it. There's a bit of rotation there. Because of the sculpt, it's slightly limited, but it's quite a bit. There's a little bit of rotation mid-calf. A lot of movement in the feet, which are super gnarly looking. Super cool. Let's get his hip socket reattached. It's gonna be fun to figure out if it's seated or not. Let's see. Don't want to break anything that's here or misalign anything. I just want to get his leg back on. So there it goes. Now we have to realign his middle ventral belly plate there. I think that's just gonna have to be a little weird. You see what I'm seeing there with in the middle here? The odd fitment of that piece there. So let's see how many pieces of articulation are excuse me, are in the tail, or how many sections. Counting the base: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 21 pieces of movement in his tail. So you can get quite a bit of twist around, quite a bit of up, quite a bit of down, as a matter of fact, which is wild. You can almost do a swim. That's cool. Yeah, that middle piece being misaligned is irritating, but what am I gonna do? We're gonna get him in a pretty good neutral position here. Yeah, let's see how easy it is to take one of his hands off. How about that? Pretty easy, actually. Sorry about the scraping. See, going back on. Well, it'll go, but I'm not going to force it. The one that came on it in the package naturally goes right on. That's always the way it works. That's pretty cool looking. I have a NECA version of the same model of Godzilla. So we're going to, it's from the previous movie, so we're going to do a quick little comparison. This guy, the NECA one is definitely heavier. Less articulation in the tail. But still pretty flippin' sweet. He's a chunky boy. Obviously, you can't do that with this one. So, I think that might, excuse me, burping dinner there. That's freaking disgusting. You can't do that with this one. This one is my 2016 Godzilla. Sure, let's call it that. This is the 2021 Godzilla vs. Kong Godzilla. Obviously, mutated, evolved. You got that different dorsal thing going on. I really like this one because of the posability, but that gap is maddening. Let's see how we can hide that gap by doing that. There we go, that'll work. Yes, yes, play with your toys. We're going to put our Godzilla like that, right back there. I'm going to move this one out of the way. And we're going to move on to Kong. Put Godzilla's hands there. There's the Kong. SH MonsterArts, Monsterverse, Godzilla vs. Kong, Kong from Godzilla vs. Kong, 2021. Excuse me while I take a sip of my drink. All right. Just as beautiful an artwork with photography of the figure on the box as the Godzilla packaging. Same Godzilla vs. Kong down here, except Kong from, not Godzilla from. Toho, Legendary Toho, Godzilla, Takashi Nations, Bandai. Same box format. Godzilla versus Kong, Monsterverse. There's the other head sculpt in there. There's the bottom stuff. See, this has another barcode sticker on there. It might be like a not regional, U.S. versus international sticker. There is the window package. In the box, he has the neutral face, like this one here. This is telling us he can go into ape mode. And the snarling, yelling head is that one there. He comes with the Godzilla plate axe, which is very cool. I don't have another version of this Kong to compare, but I do have also a NECA Kong. There's all the legal stuff down there. Let's get this big beefy boy out of his package. Now I say big beefy boy, but as you can see, he's kind of small. I'm super stoked to have this one as well. This one I found also at Target, same Target actually as the other one, for random, not clearance, but very discounted number. I think I picked them up for like 36 bucks. Originally he was somewhere like 70, 65. So it was like half off or something. It's great deal. There's the plastic bubble package shot. He's got more accessories with him. because he is a tool-using creature. There we are there. Let's take a look at the variety of hands. None of which are taped in. He's got a right and a left open hand. Very nicely sculpted. That's just relaxed, walking along the beach hands. He's got, we're going to take a close-up of the right knuckle walking hand, like that. And just for giggles, we'll take a look at the left. Nice fur and hair sculpt on there. He's got thumbnails. Very cool. He's got a grip hand to hold the Godzilla spine or plate axe. He's got a left grip hand as well. Let's take a look at the Godzilla plate axe. It's got shiny metallic blue, just like the Godzillas do. It's a little thin. I was hoping it'd be a little more dimensional, but it looks cool nonetheless. Strapped on with monster leather. This is obviously modeled after a giant bone, because there's a bone joint there. Very cool. That's a great accessory. Very pleased with that. Take a look at the snarling head sculpt. Zoom in even closer to that. He's got deep dark eyes in there. He has a tongue in there, but I doubt that it's articulated. It's just in there. That's a... Oh, he's got ears. Look at the ears. That's cool. I'll probably mostly have the neutral face on him, just for standard posing. One of his hands was off, but that's alright. He's got, let's pop his head off there to get that piece of plastic, and that one goes all the way through. So I'm wondering if you could just, we're not going to try to separate them too much, so we're just going to rip that out of there. We're going to snug that back down somewhat. Let's get his hand back on, and we'll go over it all. Let's zoom in on the neutral face. It's a very nicely sculpted. Nice detail on this guy. It's a base brown plastic, and it does seem to have a lighter wash, a lighter paint for the fur or hair. Kind of got a beard going. Very nice. Let's get his head back on his body. Super shallow to give the body position we like. You know what, let's go over there's his face, his chest. He's got scars running down across him. The hair fur, some very nicely sculpted on both arms. He's got 5 toes, as you would expect, both sides. He's got a little bit of footprint there. Legendary Godzilla, Toho, China. The fur on his back, musculature, fur sculpt is very nice. At least what I can see, he looks darker on my camera than he does to my eye, but that's okay. Let's zoom back out. Go over articulation. He doesn't seem super heavy. It's relatively light. It was very cool. You saw how easily the head pops off. Like I said, it's a pretty shallow depression in there. Well, let's just pop that off there. It's got a dumbbell. It's got a neck. Let's put his head back on again. Look to the side, look up. Look down. A bit of shift because of dumbbell. You go up there, down there like that. I like kind of like it that. Shoulders. You get about there with the shoulders. He is an ape, so he's not going to have humongous range laterally. He's got bicep cut in there, which is pretty neat. Works with the sculpt. That's like a floating piece there. Cool. He's got 2 elbow joints, one in the upper bicep, one in the forearm. So you can get that up to his face. So, am I doing that right? Home. Let's see. Hand pops off easily. Little dumbbells in there as well, which is interesting. I like the articulation kind of hiding in the sculpt of the arm. That's pretty neat. Easy articulation. Hands pop off a little easy for me, which I don't really care for, but they go back on easily enough. The upper torso feels, god damn it, that's gonna piss me off. It feels like there's a long dumbbell that goes from here to there, and if you can see inside there, it looks to be correct. So this piece is floating around in there. You can kind of see that there. That's so you can go. See, now I've done. There we go. When he's upright, everything's covered. You got a lower. It's got a crotch piece diaper thing. Pretty cool. Ball joint at the hip. A lot of rotation there. Floating thigh piece. That's a real interesting way to go about the articulation, because it creates the ability to have a hip attached with a ball joint, long dumbbell going from here at the hip to the knee joint. This floating bit, you get a lot of articulation out of that. You got a lower knee, floating calf fur. Whoa, there's like this bit, that bit, the ankle bit, the toes come up and down. That is interesting. Well, the lower hand. It's really interesting articulation on this guy. I'm really rather enjoying it. Let's get his walking hands on there. Go full ape here. How about that? Get that one there. I'm just playing at this point. I'm barely talking. For that, I apologize. But I'm enjoying this guy. So, adjust the articulation a little bit. Get his arms in a downward position. That's pretty cool. Let's put his head back on. Looks like a gorilla to me. That's pretty sweet. However, I like my apes bipedal and weapon wielding. So we're going to put the grip hand on there. Yeah. Put that back in there. You know, let's get the snarling head on there just to see what that looks like on him. That's badass. We're going to put the original fist hand on there. Oh, shit, yeah, that's awesome. I think I've held my swearing down to minimum today. Proud of myself. Let's get this guy's bone axe in there. Haha, that is cool. I like that a lot. Get a better look at him there for you. That is freaking dope as hell. I am very, very, very pleased with this Kong. I like him way more than I expected to. Wow. Okay. Let me do the little quick comparison here. That's the other Kong that I have. Obviously, completely different scales. Completely different kind of figures. Whoa. This guy. Let me get him back out of there. I love my NECA Kongs, but the expression that I can get out of this guy and his articulation, dude, that is wicked. What do you think, folks? Do you like this Kong more than this Godzilla? the scale between the two, I think, is maybe a little off. I feel like the Godzilla should still be slightly bigger than he is in relation to Kong. But I don't know. What do you think? This Godzilla, his articulation, a little goofy, but dope as hell. That Kong, though. That Kong is an absolute win for me. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, collectors of adult age, that's my look at the SH MonsterArts, Takashi Nations, Bandai, Toho, Legendary Monsterverse, Kong, and Godzilla from Godzilla Vs Kong. What do you think of these figures, guys? I like the posability. I like the sculpt. I like the blue, shiny, metallic spines. That Kong, though, holy shit. I am so happy these are in my collection. If I had opened these sooner, I may not have appreciated them as much as I do now. So I'm glad I waited. This Kong is going to the movies with me this weekend. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Definitely comment. Deuces, everybody.